There's one indoor cat rule you can never afford to break. If you do, you might be silently cutting years off your cat's life without even realizing it. And the worst part? Most cat owners have no idea they're doing it. I'm talking about a rule so fundamental that ignoring it doesn't just affect your cat's happiness, it literally rewrites their biology. It changes how their brain works, how their body functions, and how long they'll live. Today, I'll reveal exactly what this rule is, why breaking it is more dangerous than you think, and the shocking science behind what happens when cats don't get what they desperately need. But here's what's really scary. Stick with me until the end, because the most dangerous part of this rule is something that 90% of cat owners completely miss. And when you hear what it is, it might completely change how you see your relationship with your indoor cat forever. If you're watching this, chances are you have an indoor cat, and you probably think you're doing everything right. You feed them quality food, you keep their litter box clean, you give them a warm place to sleep, you've protected them from cars, predators, diseases, and all the dangers of the outside world. But here's the thing that most people don't realize. Keeping your cat safe isn't the same as keeping them healthy, and there's a massive difference between a cat that's surviving indoors and a cat that's actually thriving. And if you want to learn more secrets about what your cat really needs to live their best life, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Trust me, what you're about to learn will change everything. So let's dive into the one rule that separates cat owners who think they're doing great from those who are actually giving their cats the life they deserve. Most indoor cat owners live in what I call false security. They think that because their cat is safe from outdoor dangers, they've won the battle. They see their cat sleeping 16 hours a day and think, perfect, my cat is so relaxed and content. But here's what's actually happening. In the wild, cats spend 6 to 8 hours a day hunting. And hunting isn't just about catching prey, it's about stalking, planning, problem solving, using every muscle in their body and engaging every single sense they have. Your indoor cat still has that same brain, those same instincts, that same need for mental and physical stimulation, but instead of 6 to 8 hours of intense activity, what are they really getting? Maybe 10 minutes of playtime if they're lucky, and this is where most cat owners make their first critical mistake. They think a few toys scattered around the house is enough. They think their cat is low maintenance. But what's really happening is much more serious than they realize. Because when a cat's natural instincts are suppressed for too long, their body starts to rebel in ways that most owners never connect to the real cause. And that's where things get really dangerous. The real enemy of indoor cats isn't something you can see. It's not a disease, it's not a parasite, it's not even bad food. The real enemy is chronic understimulation, and it's killing cats slowly, silently, and systematically. When cats don't get enough mental and physical stimulation, their stress hormone cortisol stays elevated. And this isn't just about being a little bored. This is chronic stress that literally changes their brain chemistry. Their immune system weakens, their digestion slows down, their sleep patterns get disrupted, and their natural behaviors start to disappear. They stop grooming properly, they lose interest in their surroundings, and they begin what scientists call learned helplessness. You might notice your cat sleeping even more than usual, not because they're content, but because they've given up trying to find stimulation. You might see them staring out windows for hours, not because they're curious, but because they're desperately searching for something, anything, to engage their minds. Some cats start overeating because food becomes their only source of excitement. Others become destructive, scratching furniture not to sharpen their claws, but to release pent-up energy and frustration. And some become completely withdrawn, almost like they're living in a depression. But here's the part that will really shock you. The physical health problems that come from chronic understimulation are often mistaken for normal aging. And that means thousands of cats are suffering unnecessarily, and their owners have no idea they're the cause. Let me tell you what chronic understimulation actually does to your cat's body, because this is where things get really serious. When cats don't get enough stimulation, they become sedentary, and that's when veterinarians start using the term indoor cat syndrome. The first problem is obesity. Understimulated cats often gain weight rapidly because they're not burning calories through natural hunting behaviors. But it's not just about looking chubby. obesity in cats, leads to diabetes, arthritis, heart disease, and liver problems. The second issue is muscle atrophy and joint stiffness. Cats are designed to climb, jump, sprint, and stretch. And when they don't use these abilities regularly, their muscles weaken and their joints become stiff. This creates a vicious cycle because the less they move, the harder it becomes to move. Then come the digestive problems. Stressed, understimulated cats often develop inflammatory bowel disease, chronic constipation, or food sensitivities. Their gut health deteriorates because stress hormones interfere with normal digestion. But perhaps the most heartbreaking consequence is what happens to their mental health. Cats can develop what is essentially feline depression and anxiety. They might start over grooming until they create bald spots, or they might stop grooming altogether. And here's something most owners never connect. Urinary problems in indoor cats are often stress-related. Chronic understimulation can lead to bladder inflammation, urinary blockages, and recurring infections. These aren't just medical problems, they're behavioral problems with medical consequences. Studies even show that chronically understimulated indoor cats live 2 to 4 years less than cats who receive proper environmental enrichment. That's not just a statistic. That's years of life stolen by something that is completely preventable. Here's what most cat owners don't realize. When your cat is chronically understimulated, it doesn't just affect their health, it completely changes your relationship with them. And not in a good way. Understimulated cats often become demanding, in ways that feel annoying or even manipulative. They might meow excessively, knock things off counters, or wake you up at night. But the truth is, they're not being bad. They're desperately trying to get the stimulation they need from the only source available, you. On the other hand, some cats react in the exact opposite way. They become distant, hiding under beds, or in closets, avoiding interaction altogether. They've learned that their environment won't provide what they need, so they shut down emotionally. This creates a painful cycle for cat owners. You feel guilty when your cat is constantly demanding attention because you're busy, but you also feel rejected when your cat ignores you. Meanwhile, your cat is stuck in a state of chronic frustration they can't put into words. Many owners misinterpret these behaviors as personality traits. Oh, Fluffy is just antisocial, or Max is just a needy cat. But what they're really seeing are symptoms of environmental deprivation. And here's the saddest part. Some cats eventually give up trying to communicate their needs altogether. They become what looks like perfect cats, quiet, undemanding, sleeping all the time. But they're not perfect. They're defeated. The real tragedy is that these cats still love their owners deeply. They're not choosing to be difficult or distant. They're just trying to survive in an environment that doesn't meet their basic psychological needs. Here it is, the one indoor cat rule you can never afford to break. Your cat must have daily environmental enrichment that mimics their natural hunting sequence. Not just toys, not just food, not just attention. They need the complete hunting experience every single day. That means they must go through the process of searching, stalking, catching, killing, eating, and finally resting. Search means they need to look for their prey, so you can hide toys, use puzzle feeders, or make them work to find their food. Stalk means they need to crouch, focus, and prepare to pounce. Catch means they need to successfully capture something. Whether it's a toy or a treat, anything that triggers their success response. Kill means they need to feel like they've defeated their prey, shaking it, biting it, or holding it down. Eat is the reward that tells their brain the hunt was successful, whether it's a treat or part of their meal. And rest is when they relax and process the whole experience. When cats complete this sequence, their brain releases the right combination of neurotransmitters: dopamine for reward, serotonin for satisfaction, and endorphins for contentment. Without this daily cycle, their brain chemistry becomes unbalanced and their body begins to deteriorate. This isn't optional, this isn't a luxury or a nice to have. It's as essential as food and water. And here's the most powerful part. Once you start providing proper environmental enrichment, you'll see changes in your cat within days. More energy, better appetite, more affection, better sleep. It's like watching your cat come back to life right in front of you. Now, I want to hear from you. Looking back at your cat's behavior, how many of these signs of understimulation have you noticed? the excessive sleeping, the attention seeking, the withdrawal, the health problems? Leave a comment below and tell me what you've observed. I read every single comment, and I'm genuinely curious to know how many cat owners are just now realizing that what they thought was normal behavior was actually their cat asking for help. So, let me leave you with this. The one indoor cat rule you can never afford to break is daily environmental enrichment that includes complete hunting sequences. This isn't about being a perfect cat owner. This is about understanding that your cat's brain is still wired for survival, and they need you to help them express those instincts safely. When you follow this rule, you're not just preventing health problems or behavioral issues. You're giving your cat the chance to be who they really are. You're honoring their nature while keeping them safe. And you're building a relationship based on understanding rather than guesswork. Start implementing this rule today, and I promise you'll see a different cat within a week. More engaged, more content, more connected to you. Because when cats get what they truly need, they don't just survive, they thrive. If this video opened your eyes to something you'd never considered before, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. I share science-based insights about cat behavior every week, and there's so much more you need to know about what your cat is really thinking. And speaking of things cats need that most owners miss, click the video appearing on your screen right now to learn why some cats refuse to eat unless their owner is watching. That behavior has a fascinating explanation that will change how you see mealtime forever. Remember, your cat is counting on you to understand their needs. Don't let them down.